We get on the plane with the two kids, and the stewardesses are just like, they're all trying to make us feel better.
Flight attendants there?
Yeah.
What are you, living in the 70s? Okay.
Whatever, dude. Listen,
stewardesses. Okay.
Thank you. Flight attendants. I'm sure that's going to stay in there because you're at it.
Damn right.
Flight attendants. I'm tired right now, dude.
Okay.
Home alone. Yeah. Anyway. So the flight attendants are on, dude, and they're like, oh, we got some jokes, and if you can answer them, then we'll bring a prize over to you.
This week's episode is brought to you by Nona's Secret Stash of Sauce, the best sauce known to mankind and not available on shelves anywhere. Even when the freezer is full of sauce, there's still no sauce for you. You want some of Nona's sauce? Too bad. Only Nona decides who gets the sauce.
Hey, boys and girls. It's Magnum here from the Papa Mags Pinecast. Despite our low ratings, we still have some amazing, dedicated listeners. Here's what someone had to say.
Hey, Pops, Mags, this is Dap House. My cross-country trip finally gave me a chance to catch up and see what you're all about, and I gotta say, not completely terrible. Kept me awake on my 26-hour journey cross-country. Thanks, guys.
Not completely terrible. That's great. That's what we're all about here in Papa Mags. If you consider yourself one of the 10s and 10s and would like to submit an audio review of the Papa Mags Pinecast, send it over to poppinmags@gmail.com. That email address again is poppinmags@gmail.com. We'll hear from you soon.
Pop is poppin' and locking. Magnum scrutinizing. Papa Mags Podcast.
Hey, everyone, and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 8 of the Poppin' Mags Pinecast. How's it going, Mags?
I see you're still filling in for Andrea, so okay.
So not as good as it used to be.
Yeah, we had a good thing going, and then she went away for a little bit, and then I've been stuck with her replacement. But we'll see how this goes.
All right. Well, let's get down to business here with our reverse countdowns. We still got K-Fuel. Promised that we're up to 180 days on that. Still no K-Fuel. Replay, R-Play staking up to 199 days since we were promised. The DEX is 199 days since we were promised. The R-Play airdrop of the actual tokens has been 283 days since we were promised. And the peel effect for bananas is now up to 25 days.
And me getting somebody to update the site to record these countdowns is over a month. I know that. Yeah,
for sure. Way over a month. But so, I mean, I think it might be wise of us to just kind of give a little introduction. We might have a wider audience this week. I'm not sure, but possibly. So,
okay.
Well, I'm just saying, all right, we're two pineapples, right? If someone was just joining us today for the first time, they'd have no idea what that means.
Okay. Fair.
So yeah, we got two custom pineapples from the Rare Robots Secret Pineapple Society collection on Theta Drop, and I am Sheriff Popper, a play on Sheriff Hopper from the Stranger Things, and Magnum PI that kind of speaks for itself.
Magnum Pineapple or Magnum Pineapple. That's me.
That's right.
Two very nice Hawaiian shirts we got on our pines.
Absolutely. Yep. And we got this, we put together this little Pinecast and just having some fun, talking mostly Theta art, NFT news and just general overall Twitter and whatever else is going on.
Hot takes, food takes.
Yep. Plenty of hot takes. And as some would say, a pulse of the community.
TM. Pulse TM.
Yeah, so it looks like someone actually claimed that this week.
What?
I think there was a 5-minute Twitter poll up at like 2 a.m. one night.
Okay. Oh, yeah. The Pulse was born after this by that Twitter poll.
Yes, the Pulse was born.
I think it was me. It was who has the pulse of the community. Me, Magnum Pineapple, Sheriff Popper, Theta Zilla Club, or West 2.
Yeah.
And overwhelmingly, I think like 71% came in for Magnum. I didn't even, It's crazy, and I couldn't even vote because you can't vote on your own polls.
Yeah, not with that account, sure.
Right.
Oh man, but yeah, Twitter was a fun place to be this week again.
You're saying that jokingly? I can never
Yeah,
tell with
it
you.
was. I mean, it was. I was getting attacked by looked like peanuts or beans.
Yeah. Well, so the fallout that happened, I think before and after that Twitter poll with me and you, I was like, I'm not looking forward to this episode and talking about that. About the that had to deal with West 2 for his Outliers project for an episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's how this started. And I don't want to get into like a big thing. We have two opinions. I'm told my opinion is complete trash, which is fine. but like regardless, we have two opinions, and we were it was getting like hot on the boards about that. But then the conversation between like you and others dunking on me turned into don't blame Mark. You know, like this whole don't blame Mark campaign. Mark did not rug, guys. Just so everyone knows, former Theta Diamond rug puller, or I don't even know if I can say that before I get canceled, because you know so many people do the right thing as a creator. You know, they sell their product, they sell their NFTs, and they communicate with their community, and you can see what funds have been done with it. And you know, if you have questions, you can ask. Mark went a different way with that. He shut everything down. He disappeared. He took the money and he ran, and then he disappeared for a bit. And Simon from Open Theta had an AMA. We talked about this, and Simon called it a rug. Simon, the owner and operator, El Presidente of Open Theta, it's called Mark's alien project. I don't know what it was called. Some bullshit.
Astro Builders.
And but then for some reason, I'm getting beat up on the boards for him rugging his community. You know, so I don't understand that. What is your take on that, Popper?
You know, this started with the episode of West, like you said, for Outliers. And my opinion was just I'd rather hear, not knowing what output West would have on either of these topics. I would rather him shoot for breaking open a story on Gpool versus Mark. This whole thing was with Mark. It's a shame that it happened for sure. I guess I'd have to get outlier. So the Astro Builders, you know, if that's not being taken care of, then it's not. But if people are getting their money back, I don't know. Call it what you want to call it.
They had to July 4th to get their money back. But regardless if they got their money back, that's Simon did that out of his pocket. We're not gonna legislate that. You know, he's
absolutely
free to do as he pleases. But it almost kind of the argument being presented was, well, people got their money back, but they didn't get their money back from Mark. They got their money back from Simon, who called Mark a rug because he shut everything down and disappeared. Now, call me crazy if you're a creator and you take people's money or crypto or whatever, and then you disappear and delete everything. That's not a strong vote of confidence.
No, it's not.
And after the sabotage to his other previous projects that he did, someone was saying like, oh, he did it for because he was on the show before, Mark, and I believe he said, and I believe he said that he may eventually go to like a weekly diamond or a monthly diamond or something like that. Like, I think it was kind of known, but like, imagine buying at the end of the 1 of 1 mints.
That's the problem.
And then getting all those, everything watered down. and then you're not asked about it. You're just told this is it. So shut up, or I'll kick you out of the Discord. Even if you have, so you don't even take. You're basically like abusing your power as a creator. And then he's launching all these other projects. So anyways, this devolved between, and I'm not saying the G pool. So now back to Wes's outliers. I'm not saying I'm not saying that's, I think that could be a more interesting story. I just think Wes is a firsthand witness to this. I think it, and since the guy who rugged did Wes's NFT art.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's not like addressed in the Discord, I mean, like you're doing a show about like exposing, getting the truth of things. I think you need to do something to address that, and considering you're doing a show about this stuff, and maybe it's a different show. Maybe Wes does it as a bonus show or something.
Yeah.
While all this was going down, Wes called me from Cleveland. Shout out. Or was it Cincinnati?
Ohio.
One of those.
What's that show? Name the show.
That's the Drew Carey show, sir.
Yes, very good.
Where the points don't matter, right? Or is that another? That's a different Drew Carey show.
Yeah, that's Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Who's right. So, anyways, we talked about that, and he just couldn't believe all the shit I was getting. But I don't know if that's just Wes stirring my pot. But regardless, it was cool. But I'm saying, so now back to the whatever, I can't even figure a word to transition this, but back to the heart of the matter is getting beat up by Beans and saying he didn't rug, and I said a creator who rugs on everyone and then leaves someone else to pay for his mess, they don't get a say in the fucking story. They had the whole time to make their story, and their story was, I'm going to take my money and I'm going to disappear. Now what they're trying to say is, well, he paid it back, and they said, oh, he says he is paying it back. So like, Popper, like for example, like back in the day, we've mentioned this too, like back when like we were like so smart with crypto and Bitcoin, in late 2017 and early 2018 was like through the roof, and you cashed some stuff out, and you had to wait to get the cash. Like you can only get more than $10,000 a day, I think, on Coinbase. Yeah. So you're like, hey, Mags, can you ship me a Bitcoin because I want to get in this thing and I have to wait for these funds to clear, and I'll get you a Bitcoin back. And I was like, sure, no problem. Like, oh man, back when I had Bitcoin to spend,
laying around
so readily. But what'd you do? And what did you do? You paid me in a couple days, like you said, my money back. And you know what I mean? It wasn't a hard concept.
No, 100%.
You said, Mags, can I borrow it? I said yes. And I'm not saying you always borrow from me. I've probably borrowed from you more through the years, but we're like Lannisters, right? We pay each other back.
Well, I owe you for, there's probably an invoice waiting for me.
I sent a bunch of the invoices into a mailbox in our group account.
All right, I'll get it. I'll be intern.
It wasn't as high as I thought, so
that's okay. All right,
but I'll take it. But or my half. But yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, it's fair for you to have that opinion, and for me, it turned into Mark made a statement, and listen, whatever happened.
A statement or a novel, like the Declaration of fucking Independence.
Yeah,
I'm not reading that.
It was long, and there's just a few parts of it that I didn't agree with. The main part is the focus on NFTs not being investments, and it's just like, man, Kyle said that, and he got lit up, and now he's gonna say it, and it doesn't make sense because what he was selling, you go into the descriptions and it says right on there, like, you own these and you get a percentage of diamond of auction sales. And, I know he's been doing this for over 400 days, but what about the person that bought number 465 and that's their first one, expecting a piece of a payment to come out. So, I didn't agree at all on that point. I thought that was weak, and that was a point that I was trying to make to somebody.
I thought you made it. They just refused to listen to you.
Dude,
Like,
yeah. I mean, I literally only said the only point that I made on the whole thing was about NFTs being investments, and you can't have attributes of investments in the description of your NFT and then say that NFTs aren't investments. That's having your cake and eating it too. And that was my biggest point of contention.
And that's why too. So like, for example, previous pending litigation we had, I remember your boy Joey TV
Oh, yeah.
basically had this long post that he sent to me. So like he blocked everyone and then you blocked him, but I forgot to block him. And then he unblocked me and then said I couldn't message both of you guys because he has me blocked. But the guy's blocked me like a million fucking times. So he sent me a message and it was like this whole thing. And it's talking about how, you know, oh, we take this super seriously. And he wrote a whole damn novel. And he said but then he had this big Twitter post. Do you remember this big Twitter thread he had?
He had a few of them, dude.
Well, there was this one basically apologizing for what he did, and it was super long. But then in there, he reserved the right to basically pick up this and litigate this in the future. So it's this cake and eating it too. And I'm a big fan of cake, man. I love it, but like it's the same thing. So like if you know you rugged and then you put something like that in there, everything else you throw it out because it's not worth what it's written on, what he says. And that's what I'm saying is you don't give him. He had his chance to make stuff right when he was a creator taking everyone's money, and now he's not. And then I want to get your opinion on this. And I know I interrupted you, but that's what I do. But so
well, hold
anyways,
on a second.
Okay.
Hold on a second. What's the statute of limitations on memeing too hard? Are we almost there?
No, I just say we go with it, you know, until until we get a cease and desist from a real law firm or some nonsense.
It's got to be notarized.
Oh, yeah. But Nanaimo Trader put in the Mark Rugg Discord that's an open theta, and he asked me a question, and I'm just trying to understand, you know, and he's like an investor guy, right? And he listens to the Pinecast too, which is super cool.
Yeah.
But so, and I don't know if this is like asking me this question or is he trying to make me think, because there's nothing to think about because I answered it when I saw it. So I didn't answer right away because I didn't see it right away. But he said something to the tones of, if Mark pays Simon back, is it still a rug? So,
well, at that point, Astro Builders is not a rug, but the entirety of the investment system that he created with the daily diamonds and the auctions of the skulls. Yeah, diamond skulls. I mean,
diamond
that
heads.
Just came diamond. There you go. Those just came to an abrupt end. And if you consider that a rug, it's a rug. Most of the time when people talk about rugs, it's like buying a mint, you mint out, and then you take the money and run. Whereas this one is a little bit different because it's one a day. And it's an unfortunate situation. And to be quite honest, I wish him the best. I think that he wishes that he would have not gone full-time Web3. And I think that if he had income coming in outside of these daily auctions, that he probably would have been able to continue. But, he was saying that he put 15, 16-hour days in doing this stuff. And the one thing that we can say is that he's been around every single day, and he did have a good following.
So, but do you not see there's irony on top of irony here, because he, I think, got the most attention. He was always going after people and scammers when he could. It seemed like before he did this. Okay. And
Yes,
he was
did.
calling out the G-World people. He did that
Empty
that G
pool.
pool, that empty
Yep.
pool thing that took in like over 40,000 T fuel or
No,
something.
that one was like 22,000. The big one was the day 365.
Okay. But so like, you know what I mean? Like, and then I've seen him calling out G pool people before. Okay. So the guy, he leaves, he just disappears, which, I mean, hey, I'm not defending G pool. I mean, I guess that guy's still around. I don't know. I don't care.
Nobody knows. Yeah.
Nobody knows.
I hope West 2 finds out.
Yeah. I hope he does too. But the point is, he basically did what a scammer does, and he packed up everything and he got rid of everything. He doesn't get to talk. If he wants, he can listen, but he doesn't get to read novels and write bullshit in there like he did. Now he can do whatever he wants. Canada's a free country, but whatever you got to do. I'm just saying, I don't know why mostly me and you, well, you got it too, but like got such nonsense attacks after, being called out for this,
Yeah.
I don't know, you know. And we've promoted Canadian rugs before because we used to have sizzle popcorn commercials.
2 for 2.
So we are not doing good in Canada, folks.
No. And then obviously the one he certainly took shots and whatever. That's what he wants to do. But on his parting novel, part of it was like, I'm here every day, not going on vacation. And I'm sure that was a shot at Rare, right? Because of the whole, Pines wasn't moving anywhere and Rare took a vacation.
Yeah. Like, but Rare did, it's funny. Rare was working at Warner Brothers still.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
When he did that, finishing up an actual project. So doing two things. And then he took a vacation. I remember Mark was talking about when he was going on vacation when we did a show. I mean, yeah, the absurdity of these different shots being called out, because then it sounded like they were trying to like drag Rare into this too. Another fellow Canadian, I don't know if this is like Canadians backing Canadians, but Dharma Gardner, who was also on the Pinecast, Canadian, throwing veiled stuff at Rare Robot, saying it's a rug, which it's not a rug.
For sure. No,
it's maybe not as active or, but nothing. I mean, not a lot of things are. I mean, to say that, and then, Daily Diamonds, like you've said, sounds like an unregistered security. I don't know what, I mean, it sounds like Gardner's doing something very similar.
100%. Yeah.
So
he sold a piece of his business through NFTs.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just one of these, these kettle calling the pop lacking, one, you don't know crap, and two, but keep taking shots. And we've said it before on this Pinecast that, like, why are other NFT projects bashing other NFT projects?
Right. Yeah. It makes no sense.
It's still going on, but and so we're there. But we will bash rugs. So
yeah, you got to beat the rug to get the dirt out of it.
That's right. That's that. I'm sure, I'll get some more shit over that. And I can take it.
Well, something good did come of this.
Well, I was gonna lean into that, because then Mark disappeared and then he turned up again someplace else. And I believe it was friend of years, Buddy Theta. Is that right?
That found it?
Or was it someone else?
Man, I'm afraid to assign this.
Shit.
I thought it was XX Shock.
Okay.
XX, the guy from he's in the ThetaZilla Discord and plays WWZ. I thought it was him that found a screenshot of the new Twitter, because he had basically blocked everybody that he had ever had contact with on Theta to, he didn't want the negativity. So,
right.
And then we see some of the recent posts, and it's all retweeting this Insiders project.
Okay.
So we're like, oh boy, what's this?
Right.
So there was a response on it, and I'm just like, and when I look at the Insiders thing, and it's like, we're weeding out the bad and this and that. So I retweeted that under a comment and was like, "Who wants to tell him?" And the guy DM'd me, and we started going back and forth. And dude, this guy is just talking my language of like how I think projects should work. You know, doing work in the background, not making promises as far as dates, working a lot, like has a good plan in place. Turns out the next day it was like midnight. I was like, dude, I'm going to check out your project tomorrow. It's too late right now. So it turns out they had just had a drop on ETH in June, and it was a free mint. They didn't charge anything for it. So you just had to pay the gas fee, right?
Mhm.
And originally they let you mint 2, and then it wasn't going quick enough. Like I think it was like 8,000
Just over
mints.
8,000. Yeah.
Just over 8,000. So you'd need 4,000 people to mint. So they increased it to 5 each, and it minted out.
Wow.
And by the time I found it, they had already churned out like 60 ETH worth of secondary sales, and the floor was like 0.006 ETH or whatever like that. So I'm just looking, I'm like, man, like how are they doing this? And the Discord is completely token gated. You cannot even enter it unless you own an insider, which I think is genius, because honestly, I think the banana should do it too. Why do you need to get into the banana Discord without a banana? Is there any reason?
No, I agree.
There's no reason, because you can just go on Twitter and get plenty of information about it.
And two, a lot of these people jump to the banana Discord. Oh, hey man, what's going on? Spam, 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 spam.
Exactly. And there hasn't been any spam in that Discord since I've been on it, which is not a whole long time, but still, within the banana Discord, it was like daily for a long time.
Yeah, and it happens occasionally still too. Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
So it just, everything the guy was saying was just resonating with me. And I was like, man, like this seems like a project that I want to be a part of. And not for nothing, but the art is super unique, and it's really grown on me. So I got involved for sure. And, it's one of those things. It's funny because he talks about tribalism, and it's like for a long time, there was this feeling of like, oh, even within Theta, it was like, okay, Pines versus this versus that, which, we pretty much were involved in all of this stuff. So it's like, I want this stuff. I want this to do well. I want that to do like, I'm not rooting for one over the other, but sure, I'm rooting for my bags too. But then it was definitely tribalism of like Theta versus Ethereum versus Solana versus all these other, where it's like, oh, let's do our thing here. And really show those guys what's up. But why? Like, what's the point of that? The only thing that I don't like about these insiders is the gas fees for when you're buying with ETH. Like ETH gas is a pain in the neck.
Well, when the floor was lower, it was more tolerable though, those gas fees.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but it was a higher percentage of your, of your purchase. Now it's a lower percentage of your purchase, but you got to pay more.
Sure.
So lose.
That's how they get you. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, and I mean that's how I kind of got into that. And one of those things, I just kind of got sucked up in it. These things were cheap. They look cool. Start looking for some rare attributes, and I got a zombie king. And tell me, what is it that you did as soon as you could after that?
I got a zombie king as well.
Unbelievable.
Oh man. Yeah, it was a lot cheaper than until I got, open in Pines to get my zombie.
Oh man.
Non-king,
Yeah.
But yeah,
dude,
you did not like that, did you?
No, I didn't like that. But I'll tell you what, man. I mean, I literally went in there and spent about as much as I would have for a banana and ETH. And I made whale status and like made a wave. It's just like, it was crazy. It was funny.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what? And this is, me, you like your best bud. This is what you do to me is you buy as much as you can. Okay. And then you tell me you bought it. and you don't say you're like, hey, I bought these, and you're not telling me to buy them, but then it's like, oh fuck, he just bought all these. They are very cool looking. So then I go and buy them, but then you basically had your pick of what you wanted to get before you told me, and then after you told me, you told another group of us, like after that, and it was like, oh man, you're just
So this is funny, and I can't wait for Simple to reply to you, because I told you before I told anybody else, and Simple was like, dude, I appreciate you like letting us know before you went. So yeah, no, it's all good. I mean, it's one of those things where you don't want to be a shill. You don't want to like cause others to lose money at all. I mean, nothing that I do is financial advice, but if I like something, then I'm just gonna tell people I like it. Other people have said things too, and if I look it up and it's cool, then hey, it's cool.
I was surprised on that initial thing when he was like, "Can somebody DM me?" I think he said, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, I can't even get into it, and I was like, hey, we just talked about it. Here's the episode that we just published.
Yep.
That goes about this in depth. So probably didn't listen to it because you talked to him.
Yeah, probably.
But the fact that it was a free mint, so like they didn't make anything on that.
Right. Exactly.
And then the thing that I've been picked up. So I've been hanging out. I'm not as active as you, but in there. But they have Twitter Spaces like all the time. At least like once
every
a day.
day,
Sometimes,
I think. Yeah.
Sometimes they have. The other day, I think they had 3. But somebody brought up, and I just want to get this out there. Somebody brought up that, hey, this looks like art from this other project on Solana.
Yeah.
And they addressed this. They tweeted about it. They showed the receipts, but basically I guess like 1,000 or so NFTs were taken without the artist. The artist was shopping these NFTs, I guess. And somebody got a hold of his Dropbox with him or something, and they launched him on a website on the Solana chain, and it was like a complete rug. So they were
exactly.
So of course they're gonna get stuff for that, and they keep answering it all the time. And but just in case anyone's like, oh, this is a scam, and it doesn't seem like. But anyways, him coming out, he's very proactive. That group, they want to talk to the community, and they're really appreciative. And I mean, think about that. Like the strength of that is the people in it buying it and talking about it, and the art's great. Don't get me wrong, but they didn't make money on the mint. They let people get this for free, which is amazing. So
exactly.
Like you said, the biggest complaint I have is that we didn't know about it from the beginning.
I know. Exactly. Yeah, they're making their money on the secondary sales and on merch sales. And I don't know how else. I mean, this must be self-funded and just, kind of like investing in themselves to make this what they have envisioned. So, hey, I like it.
The most active Discord I've ever seen. Now, I mean, ThetaZilla during the games is very active too.
Yeah.
And sure. But I mean, this thing right now, it's crazy. They do a lot of cool stuff in there. I don't think I should say, but
yeah, exactly.
If you want to, that's not my business, but there's some cool stuff there. But the most interesting thing is I always check the sales, and I always have to keep scrolling down because there's always like a shit ton of sales.
Yeah, I love it.
So
you go in there and you check the sales, and it grays it out, and then a second later it's like pink, like bolded again.
Yeah, I mean, what you have is a bunch of people taking part in stuff that is an investment, so we love it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it actually the Discord reminds me of like right around hype time of back in the pineapple world, a little less like right before the pineapple drop. It was more hype in that Discord than there is in this one. This is a little more reasonable. Easier to have conversation.
But that wasn't gated, back then.
Right.
So,
yeah, exactly.
Right.
There was nothing gated. So.
And we will be right back.
This week's episode is brought to you by Dr. Theta's Community Guardian Node. Theta's premier community guardian node where you can stake your Theta if you don't run your own guardian node. Best of all, 100% uptime so you do not miss any rewards and 0 fees so you earn 100% of your T-Fuel. Trusted by Theta Labs, you can easily stake directly within your wallet. Simply go to the staking tab, choose Delegated Guardian Node, and find Dr. Theta's Guardian Node. Quick, simple, reliable, and best of all, safe, as the coins never leave your wallet. Stake with the doc today. This week's episode is brought to you by GuardiansOfTheta.com, offering 0% one-click Theta Guardian staking with random monthly token giveaways. Guardians also airdropped everyone staking with him an NFT that you're able to stake and earn T-Vibe. 100% uptime, 0 fees, random giveaways, what's not to love? Stop paying 4% and come join the fam with Guardians of Theta.
Papa Max, yeah. Papa Max. Papa Max Podcast. Papa Max Podcast.
Well, speaking of pines, dude, there was some new customs that came into existence in the last week or so, and since the last
some
time
of
we
them.
spoke.
Yeah, so I think 2 of them we forgot to mention, but 6 of them I think total that have come out.
6 total. That's correct. So
Yes,
I saw 3 SSSs, 3 new ones. So we had Char get one.
Yep.
We had Chef get one with the gold fork and the banana.
in the banana,
And then
in the
Daz
pen, right?
and the
They all
yeah,
have those.
they all got the
special ones.
SSS pen, yeah.
Right.
And then Daz got the pipe with the crazy white hair. Did you happen to see the Twitter exchange regarding Char's SSS Pine with your boy Dharma?
Oh, I saw some of that. Yes, I don't know. I don't know how it started, but I did see some of that. Yes.
Well, yeah, Char posted his SSS, and then Dharma was just like, "Oh, is that Alf?"
Shout out.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit. I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit like it took me a little while to figure out exactly what it was, but it was like I think it's a Charmander, like nose beak kind of thing. Is that
Right?
am I saying
It
that
kind of
right?
looks like that. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. We talked about Char's Pine because, like, hey, we haven't
Right.
seen it. We figured he was going to get one, and when he got the banana, we're like, oh, is he getting a banana? And it goes, maybe the pine's too difficult for it.
Right.
But yeah. So it's very unique. I'll say that.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah,
I think it's my favorite out of those 3.
Really?
No offense to those other 2, but it's got like those like spikes
Yeah.
on it.
It's a nice one for sure. I mean,
But-
you wouldn't kick it out of bed.
No.
Yeah, out of the 3, I would probably go for the one that Daz got, to be honest.
Okay.
I like that white hair look and the pipe. That one registered with me for sure.
I mean, any of them is not a bad day.
Oh, 100%. Now what about the other
Eve
3,
boy.
which were gifts for winning? I guess they're not gifts,
top
right?
3.
They're prizes,
Right.
for winning the hoverboard race.
Yep. The finishing the first, second, third. Correct.
So do you know which order these came in? I know that Space Brood was first, right? And he got Punisher.
he got Punisher. Yep.
And then the other 2, there was like a sailor with the hand
the
holding
brain.
the brains going through the glasses.
It's
And
awesome.
then the Joker with the blurred out middle fingers.
Yes.
I'm not sure which order they were in, but do you have a preference on those 3?
Well, the order I don't think mattered. I think it was just the guy who got Papi Julo or something. The guy who got the one with the brain, the sailor, which is really cool.
The one that's on sale already.
Yeah. Yes. And he must have taken a little bit longer to give his information, and then by the time they got the information, Theta Drop sat on their ass before they gave it to him. Is what happened with that. The other 2 gave their names, I think, earlier for Theta Drop, and they got it at a more reasonable return rate. I think
Okay. Yeah.
is what happened. So I don't think that had anything to do with it, but Are you asking me who I'd take out of all those?
Yeah, which one of those three, if you had a choice? You got to pick one.
The Punisher, man.
Yeah, I think so.
I like
that
them
one's
all,
pretty
though.
easy.
Those
for
are
sure.
like
For sure.
I like those better than the SSS ones, but
Agreed.
1 out of 6. I mean, that's getting one of any of those 6 is not a bad day. So
100%.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, the Punisher, there's so much detail with it. The thing about the Joker one, which is what it called, like Mr. Laughs or something, they called it, which is funny because the Joker face, and I was so glad to see this because we didn't know this one existed. I don't think the Joker one. We knew the Punisher existed because he showed it off. But the thing about the Joker that I was so happy to see is that usually these attributes on the Pines, there's a custom, and they've never teased a Joker, but they have Joker faces. So I was like, we have to see that. The weird thing is, there's a Dracula, right, Pine, and there's Dracula, and there's Dracula faces. Friend of the Pinecast owns Dracula too.
Yes, he does.
Big friend, and so it's like, hey, there's got to be a Joker. So there is, and then there is a the Guy Fawkes guy, right?
Yep.
There's that type, and then there's him. And so I was wondering, I guess your opinion now that we know that there's a Joker, because we saw it. Also, it's blurred out, the middle fingers, which is pretty funny too.
Right.
So we got Joker, we have Dracula. Do you think there is a mummy Pine? Because there's 3 different mummy wraps. Do you think there's a custom mummy out there?
It's certainly a possibility. I would think that I would think that there would be. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And you know what? Just based on previous, it seems like there should be 3, but that seems unlikely.
No, I would say that's unlikely. But
just based on numbers, because of how many. It seems like if there were 3, that at least one of them would have been out of the can by now.
Oh yeah, I don't think. Well, I think it's like the Joker thing wasn't in a regular can. That was in the 1 through 200.
Right. But I'm just saying, there's different color Vikings.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, I get what you're saying. With that, yes, there could be.
But it seems like there probably isn't, though, because I mean, if there was
they
more
all
than
look
one,
the same.
They do. They pretty much do. Yeah.
They pretty much do. So it'd be cool to see maybe like a whole mummied out one.
Yeah, for
or
sure.
Something like that would be cool. Yeah. So just real quick, that got me thinking that Theta Rarity. You've heard?
Yeah. What about it?
So they had an update the other day, and I noticed this with Rob Feldman's comics that he recently released, because there's different like attributes and stuff like that. You can go by like project, and then you can see anything. So before you could just see like the generatives, but now you can see anything of that project. So I went into Pineapples, and we've talked about on this show how the cans, we can't see the cans.
Right.
But now you can see the cans. I mean, technically you probably could, but it'd be near impossible to figure out, all that, stuff. Now you can see when they were minted and received on there.
Beautiful.
And just real quick, I know this is definitely boring people, but so after all those customs were opened, I always knew there was 3 that were minted in a can from the 200, but didn't know which ones they were.
Oh, right.
So Crypto Wendy, which I know what that one looks like. That's on our webpage, papamags.com. Number 2 place to go for Papa Mags content. Shout out. The SPS Unminted page, it's close to the top. Crypto Wendy's. She didn't open hers. It's in there. And then there is Michelle White Dove. Her Pine, is in there. And then there was one given to somebody around the time the Altereds were going out last May. It looked like somebody from famous, I mean, you could call it Rug, you could call it not, but the Creators Club. Someone who's big involved in the Creators Club received a can on like May 22nd or May 23rd, 2022. The guy's got 40 Creators Club cartridges that I think were dropped in his account.
Oh,
So,
cool.
But and I'm not saying, I don't know if Rare knows about that, but I know, like the fine print says that some are for Theta.
Right. Yeah.
So I just, it seemed kind of weird because at that point they were getting probably requests from Rare about those altereds that were going out last year, and then this one got snuck in, and that'd be almost near impossible to find until this new update that Theta Rarity did.
Wait, did that guy get the can that I was supposed to get? Is that what happened?
Yeah, so it's there. If you go by most recently created cans, it should be the one at the very top. And you can go into that person's wallet and see.
Oh, interesting.
So, which we couldn't do before. So, you know what? Shout out to Theta Rarity. This is, I think it's a great achievement and improvement that they did. So, they definitely deserve a thumbs up for this.
Nice. All right. Well, while we're kind of on Theta Drop, we got a drop coming up. I think it is this coming Friday, supposedly, correct? For the Steve McQueen.
Oh, okay.
I believe that's what the article said. So that should be interesting. I saw that it was originally supposed to be more NFTs being dropped, but they dropped it down to, it looks like it's 1,000 now. And each one is a different collectible bike that basically spits paint on the wall and creates a picture of McQueen. So I'm definitely interested to see what these things kind of look like and what they do. And yeah, certainly whatever utility they got. And, good shout out to Verified Labs and our boy Justin Trevor Winters over there and the Winters family. Hopefully this goes well for him.
I agree.
Yeah. And then we have, I noticed this week that Passaways is getting close to staking. So shout out to them. And it looked like they had the ability to burn some Doom badges to earn plasma. Is that something that you did?
Yeah. Well, I didn't have any Doom badges. I did, though, redeem a t-shirt recently from,
oh, nice.
From, I think, the Doom badges that you could redeem for the
those,
packs,
purple
packs.
Yep. Yeah. And you opened them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I probably bought more than I should have, but whatever. I was like, you know what? Why let this stuff expire? Let's just get it. And it was kind of similar to the setup. It was funny. So I had my NFT listed, I think, for Passaways. So you unlisted it because it looked like you had to be re-verified. I don't know. It was kind of like Ivory setup. So it was like listed for like $11 million or something. And then you put the code in for redeeming it. And then, you get a confirmation. I think paid for shipping or whatever. But so I got a Passaways t-shirt coming soon. Shout out to Passaways. So I thought it was, and I don't know if the staking's ongoing, is actually happening, but so what happened was, since I didn't have any Doom tokens, I withdrew my slugs to my wallet, my Theta wallet, and tried to stake, but they're not set up right now to do that.
Yeah,
so I think it was just through those Doom tokens.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's still cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what the utility is with any of this stuff though.
Yeah.
With the plasma, with the fire token for Theta Dragons.
Yeah.
Side note on the Theta Dragon. So there's been a bunch of issues with the I don't know if it was just with iOS or it was other carriers, but with the Theta Wallet app. I don't know if you ever use any of that.
No, not on my mobile. No.
Okay. But so anyways, they did an update and I updated my phone and then I couldn't get into my wallet. And I waited. I saw a couple people complain. Then they kicked another update. It's still just like a blue screen. Okay. So then I'm like, WTF. So I'm like, let me delete it. Let me put my keys back in, whatever. And I did it, downloaded it, got in. I was like, oh great, but now you have to add stuff back to it, right? So
the different tokens, you mean?
Yeah. So I have some Levita staked already, but I had to I wanted to re-add it there in case I sent some there to stake or whatever. So I added it, no problem. Okay. So then I noticed my fire token wasn't there. So then I added it. After I put the contract, so the contract address, the token symbol, and then the 18 decimals, fucking blue screen.
Blue screen.
And you know what? It's a pain in the dick, to keep putting in the seed phrases to get it.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I must have done it 6 times, and every
man.
fucking time when I put the fire token in, it fucking blue screened me. So then eventually I said, well, fuck it. I'm not putting the fire in. I mean, I know it's there. I can go on my computer and
exactly.
I could go through that, that way and see it. But it was just oh, this is bullshit. But they released another update. And now it's working good, and then it let me add the fire. So I don't know if fire was the issue. Levita wasn't the issue. I know that, but you know what I mean. So I don't know. I feels like fire was the issue. Maybe some other coins too. I don't know, but fun information that means nothing.
Huh. All right. Well, I wanted to take a moment and shout out NFT Theta Purveyor.
Shout out.
Year 1 of the poker season for Thetazilla Club, doing it once a week, so 52 weeks, came to a conclusion with the championship final table, and our boy NFT Theta Purveyor took it down. So congrats to him on that. Guess he had better luck there than he ever has on WWZ, because he gets trained on there.
I know if I'm wrecking somebody, which doesn't happen, I seem like it's impossible for me to connect with you. Every time I attack you, it misses. Every fucking time. That needs to get looked into, Thetazilla Club and Mac. Just get on that.
Leave those.
I don't know what glitch that is, but it seems like my connect rate with you is super low. It's insane. And you're always knocking me out. So
yes, I've had quite a few times.
It's double. Yeah, at least 3, if not 4 or more, but that I know of. But yeah, usually Theta Purveyor is one guy I can count on to just char with my atomic fire breath.
Yeah. It seems for me that it's Grim is a major antagonist of mine, as well as A Salty. I
knocked him out tonight.
Destroy me.
I knocked A Salty out tonight. Shout out. And you know what they say in WWZ? F you, Grim.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to throw this in there. Obviously I went to Florida a couple of weeks ago, and dude, my flight out was delayed 4 hours. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. We were supposed to leave around 6, ended up leaving around 10. All right. And we get on the plane with the 2 kids, and the stewardesses are just they're all trying to make us feel better.
Flight attendants there?
Yeah.
What are you, living in the 70s? Okay.
Whatever, dude. Listen,
stewardesses. Okay.
Thank you. Flight attendants. All right. I'm sure that's going to stay in there because you're editing.
Yeah, right.
Flight attendants. I'm tired right now, dude. I'm home alone. Yeah. Anyway. So the flight attendants are on, dude, and they're like, oh, we got some jokes, and if you can answer them, then we'll bring a prize over to you. So the flight attendant gets on. She's like, what's the difference between a well-dressed man on a bicycle and a poorly dressed man on a unicycle? And my wife, she has no shame in just shouting out answers or being that person that's gathering attention. So she shouts out, she's like, 1 tire, right? 1 tire. And the lady's like, oh, you got it right. That's right. And I'm just over here laughing, no, it's not 1 tire, it's a tire, right? A tire as in clothing, and a tire as in the difference of 2 tires to 1 tire. So she's on the other side of the aisle with the kids and all happy about it, and I'm just shaking my head I was like, what did you answer? She's like, 1 tire. I was like, that's not the right answer. And 5 minutes later, I was like, it's a tire. And dude, she started rolling she could. I was like, oh yeah, finally, now the joke is funny because it makes sense now. So It was hilarious at the time. It was hilarious because she had no idea, and then she wouldn't stop laughing. Man,
it's kind of funny, and then it's funnier with the real
oh yeah,
punchline. Yeah.
exactly. Oh yeah, one
It's almost
time.
like it's almost like you're saying the same thing, but one's
Yeah.
funny.
Right. Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
that won't get me on her shit list, though, will it? I'll edit that out. Okay.
Absolutely not.
All right.
So before we go, I did want to take it back to Twitter one last time. And I don't know if we have issues with our website guy, but it
Oh my
seems like we're
God.
getting some negative reviews on our website. Everything else seemed pretty
Critical.
good though. Yeah. Hey, it was a critical
review. You're right.
But it was heartfelt and it was appreciated. And
he took time
learn
for
from
that.
those things. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll never be upset about that. I mean, someone who occasionally listens, had some issues with our website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but hey, we appreciate the reviews. So please, we got thick skin. Give it to us straight.
Yeah. And thank you, Lonely, and we'll try to address them, and we appreciate it.
I think we also had Thetazilla chime in, and and was it also Simple Pine chimed in with some ratings as well?
I noticed Thetazilla Club because we get a lot of good marks on his rating system.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know there was a suggestion. Did you see my co-host Andrea replied to that?
Yes, token gated. Yeah,
about NFT DRM /video. When?
Yeah. When? But it's at the same time. Isn't it just like we have freedom right now? We don't charge anything. We contribute. We don't take
walls. We're not. We don't run monetization for outside ads.
No one's paying us. Yeah,
it's completely user funded, and we're the ones paying for it.
Completely loser funded. That's
right. But I think there's some things we can work on with that. If I didn't have to fire another intern today.
What was our most recent intern's name? I forgot. Jeffrey. He must not have been here long. I don't think I even met him.
I knew from the day I met him that he wasn't going to make it. So I saw the interns have control of the Papa Mags account for Twitter.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he was saying something about us and asking for help from Andrea. And she's like, there's nothing I can do about it. She's like, I hear you, but you're on your own. So
well, at least he wasn't named Joffrey. He's got that going for him.
What do you know about Joffrey?
Joffrey's coffee and Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Oh, I didn't think you were a gamer.
I watched Game of Thrones. Watched the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about that season finale?
Dude, we had a bet. We had a bet on it. On how it was going to end. Yes. We had this massive. Yes, we did. We had this massive bet. There was 9 or 10 different things that we had to answer. Yes.
Did I win?
I don't remember. I know I lost. I don't know who won. When I lose, I don't keep track of who else wins. I lost.
Yeah. Oh, throwback. We just had American 4th of July.
Well, I think it was 4th of July everywhere, actually.
Yeah, but American Christmas, American Halloween, American 4th of July, American Thanksgiving, right?
Well, 4th of July is 4th of July, but yeah. Independence Day, sure.
We had American 4th of July the other day, and there was a rainout on the men's hot dog eating contest. Did you see this?
Was it really? No, I did not see that.
Joey Chestnut fucking threw a fit and said, no, we're fucking doing this. And
they did eat hot dogs in the rain.
There was thunder and lightning or some nonsense. And I think the women went first, but you can't.
Dude, it's been thunder and lightning for the last 3 weeks here every day. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you can't try to stymie someone from getting their 13th, 14th mustard belt, So a true champion, if there ever was one. So, but just to go back to that old Kevin and Daryl story.
Oh yeah,
with with the rigged hot dog eating contest bet, but whatever.
amazing.
Cool.
All right,
Cool.
well, that was always fun, man, and yeah, I don't know if you had anything else, but
No, I mean, I'm
Cool.
sure I'm sure I'll get destroyed on Twitter again. So.
oh yeah, I mean, it's a pastime. All right, guys. Well, it's been real, and we'll see you on the boards.
You have been listening to the Pops and Mags Pinecast. Music provided by Sushi Cat. Like what you hear? Send that cat a very nicely worded compliment on Twitter at JustAddSpam. Pops and Mags is a Scumbag Hat production in association with Kyle's Hot Tub.